Hey there, I'm Alan Matthews from ClassicalGuitarShed.com, and we are going to talk about music theory in this video. Do you need to learn it? That is the burning question. How much time should you spend on it? Do you need to dive in to music theory? What is music theory? And do you need it? That's going to be this video. If you enjoy it, please do subscribe to this channel and click the bell for the notifications. So first off, what is music theory? Music theory is the grammar and the syntax of music. It's how the notes fit together to make chords, to make melodies, to make big sections of music, to make full pieces. This is what music theory is. It is the why, it's the chemistry behind, it's how the motor runs, right? So if we were talking about language, we would be talking about grammar and syntax. We would be talking about how to construct sentences. Where does the verb go? What are adjectives and participles and all these different things, right? All the things you did in English class in the 9th grade that you don't remember now, that is what music theory is. So we need to know some of this, but do we need to study it? Do we need to play it? Or play with it? That is the question. And so here is the basic answer. If you are just starting out playing the guitar, no, you do not need to learn music theory. It's confusing. It's potentially confusing, and it will take your time away from something much more constructive, that being actually practicing your guitar. Now, because music theory is so cerebral, it's such a brainy thing, it's very attractive. We want to learn it. It's very clear to know what we don't understand. We can open a book of music theory and say, I don't understand this, so here's a clear path forward. I can just figure out this stuff. It's black and white. It's on the page. So it's really seductive in that way. However, it does not help you play the guitar. It will not help you one iota playing the guitar, because playing the guitar means using your hands and putting your hands on the instrument and playing, and then recognizing the patterns with which we play, chords, how we use our hands, the movements in our fingers, how we position, how we sit. All these things will help us play guitar because they actually are playing the guitar. Music theory, on the other hand, is thinking about music which we then play on the guitar. So it's a couple of steps removed from what we're actually doing. Now, so why would you possibly study it ever? Well, as you advance, as you get more advanced into intermediate and into more advanced playing, well then theoretical theory, like the really esoteric music theory, becomes more useful because you can recognize how the devices that a composer used to create the piece, and that can inform the expression. It can inform, get louder for this chord because it's going to this chord. And so we can use it to play more beautifully. However, at the beginning, we don't know all that, and we didn't even move our hands, and we can't even read a piece of music. And so all of that is just moot information. It's unnecessary because we can't do anything with it. You don't need to know how an engine works in order to drive a car. You don't need to know how electricity works in order to plug something into your wall and turn it on or just flip the switch. Instead, we can just learn to flick the switch or to turn on the lamp, and then we get the benefits from it. That's what we need to be doing on the guitar. Now, as we do learn music theory, there are certain parts of it that are very practical on the guitar at the beginning levels, and other parts that are really not. And so once we get into different scales and modes, modes are very popular because they sound so fancy and so mysterious. Just don't even go there. If you don't know exactly how you're going to use it, then don't do it at first. There are some things that are extremely useful with music theory, especially on the guitar. Learning your chords, your C and your G and your D. If you're playing classical guitar, you need these just as much as if you're playing Tom Petty tunes. Chords are the way that the guitar works, and they are a part of music theory. Knowing chords is partly knowing music theory. As you then become more advanced, you start recognizing how these chords fit into larger schemes between several chords, and also how composers use these chords to create music. Same thing with scales. You don't need to know exactly why this scale goes from this note to this note to this note. Instead, we can use this scale as a right hand and left hand exercise to synchronize the hands. It can be a tool with which we actually play the guitar better. So that's the bottom line on the music theory is, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know why you're learning the music theory, then just practice your guitar and do it. as you advance, then it's wonderful to continue to study and deepen, and you will just enrich your experience of music and your ability to play, ability to memorize music. It is extremely helpful, music theory. It just gets in the way for beginners. So if you're in the early parts of your journey, I keep saying this, I'm really just beating a dead horse here, then just skip it and just play your guitar. So that is my take on music theory. I love music theory. Music theory is wonderful. With classical guitar, then we're playing composed music most of the times. It's completely different with jazz or with another improvisational medium or improvisational genre where you're actively using it more. But with the classical guitar, it's mainly a hands game at the beginning for the first couple of years, and then just learning how to actually play. And so then the details of the theory can wait. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this. Do have fun and practice your guitar and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.